and welcome to a new edition of 6 Minutes on Gal Network. Our story today is covering the outbreak of mad cow disease and how it has affected the course of history. This widespread disease has infected over 180,000 cattle and has caused the slaughtering of 4.4 million cows. We've brought in a few special guests that have been personally affected by this deadly disease. Also known as bovine spongiform encephalopathy, is very similar to the incubation and propagation of other infectious diseases. Though this particular neurodegenerative disease has caused more fear than most other combined. Most of this is rooted in the fact that scientists still don't understand mad cow disease and cannot explain why it is prevalent in other animals in different strains of the same disease.
Mad cow disease, what is it? Scientifically named bovine spongiform encephalopathy, it is a progressive neurological disease that affects a cow's nervous system. Once infected, the cow's behavior becomes erratic, inability to walk, uncontrolled movements, and lower milk production. Incubation period can be months, even years. There's no known treatment and the disease is fatal. How do cows get infected? A cow gets infected with the disease if they eat diseased feed, which has abnormal proteins called prions, found in brains, spinal cords, and other parts. These prions cause the degeneration in the brain, giving it a spongy-like appearance. How can it affect us? Humans don't get mad cow disease as such, but they get a variant of it if they eat the diseased cattle tissue. Health officials in the U.S. and elsewhere control such scenarios by periodic sampling and prohibiting cattle parts in feed which may contain prions. Where has it been reported so far? Although the United Kingdom has been most impacted by the mad cow disease so far, the BSE has been reported in many countries around the world. Millions of cattle have been slaughtered and nearly 200,000 cows have died. Around 200 humans have lost their lives. In the U.S. recently, a cow tested positive for the disease, but the health officials say that the infected cow wasn't designated for meat consumption, and it was an atypical strain of the disease.
I'm here on Josie Joe's farm to have her tell us about her experience as a farmer when the disease infected her cattle. So how did you know the disease had begun to claim your farm?
Well, one day as I was going to feed old Bessie, I noticed her basic coordination was lacking. The things that she had done since she was a calf seemed very difficult for her.
How did you react to this?
Well, I treated it as any other sickness. I waited a few days to call the veterinarian. She came to examine Bessie, ran some tests, and diagnosed it as mad cow disease. She said this disease hadn't been found since outbreak in Great Britain until now.
So how did you handle this awful situation?
I asked to slaughter my entire herd of cattle because scientists were stumbled by the infectious disease and we were unsure of the number of cows infected. If any of my cows were infected and I sold them to be eaten, I could potentially put people's life in jeopardy.
I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for your time, Josie Joe. We have spoken to owner of Saltgrass Steakhouse restaurant chain, Sally Jansen. So how has the disease impacted your business?
As soon as the word spread that a case of mad cow disease had been identified in the U.S., people were afraid to eat any kind of cow meat. Restaurants similar to mine were forced to take red meat off their menus. Business was quite slow.
Has it gotten any better?
There are still people that are frightened by the possibility of infection, but what they're discovering recently is that mad cow disease only infects nerve tissues in cows. Therefore, eating steak or a hamburger is safe.
Good to know. Thanks for informing us of the precautions and some solutions. We went to the streets to ask random people their thoughts on mad cow disease. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Jordan Driver.
Well, hello. Sir, what are your thoughts on mad cow disease?
It's disgusting, bro. I'm never eating meat again.
And there you have the truth of mad cow disease. Further into this topic, there's a lot more to mad cow disease than people think.
It was made clear that the animals became infected because of eating pieces of cow and sheep in their bone meal. And the British government outlawed the feeding of bone meal in order to halt the spread of mad cow disease. However, because of similar infectious diseases throughout history, such as scrapie in sheep, public officials did not think that mad cow disease could spread to humans. Scrapie and other animal diseases cause similar deteriorations of the brain, but were not applicable to human beings. They also originally thought that mad cow disease was a virus, when it in fact is not virulent at all.
For one thing, humans do not get mad cow disease. There are different variants of the disease in every animal, including humans. The human form is called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. The effect is long-term and presently incurable and fatal. CJD is characterized by rapidly progressive dementia. Initially, individuals experience problems with muscular coordination, personality changes, including impaired memory, judgment, thinking, and vision.
Avoid eating parts of the cow that are likely to carry the infection, like brain, ground products, which could include hot dogs, bologna, or certain luncheon meats. Remember that it is possible that muscle may carry the disease, although it would carry the prion in much lower quantities. It's your choice whether to eat beef or not. Milk and milk products are believed to be safe. The bottom line, don't eat processed meat from unknown source. The manufacturer listed on the label is not necessarily the source of the meat.
There's no cure to this life-threatening disease, so please take precautions when eating out at restaurants and never eat from an unknown source. The outbreak of this frightening disease has not only changed, but is still changing the world as we know it. Having been identified as an infectious disease in the 1980s, mad cow disease is considered a fairly new disease to our world as doctors study and look for cures. Thank you for joining us on the new edition of 6 Minutes on Gal Network.
See you next time!
So how did you know the disease had begun to claim your farm?
One day, as I was going to feed old Bessie, I noticed the basic coordination was lacking. The thing that she had done all her life since she was a cow. Did not think that mad cow disease could spread to humans. Scrapie and other animal diseases cause similar deteriorations of the brain, but were not applicable to...
Press it again.
Go. Well, I treat it as any other sickness. I walk... Wait, what?
We went to the streets to ask random people their thoughts on mad cow disease. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Jordan Driver.
Well, I treat it as any other sickness. I waited a few days, called the veterinarian. She came to examine Bessie, ran some tests, and diagnosed it as mad cow disease. She said this disease hadn't been found since the outbreak in Great Britain. Until now.
That's good. Did I just... We went to the streets to ask random people their thoughts on mad cow disease. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Jordan Driver.
We went to the streets to ask random people their thoughts on mad cow disease. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Jordan Driver!
And what are your thoughts on mad cow disease?
Oh, it's disgusting, bro! I'm never eating meat again!